Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today is going to be a very exciting video, at least for me, because it is my favorite time of the year, which is new journal setup time. So in this video we will be doing a flip through of my 2026 reading journal. I did not film any of the setup, so it's just gonna be a flip through. Apologies on that. I'm very sporadic when I'm creating my journal, so it just didn't really lend itself to filming nicely. But with that being said, let's start our flip through. So this is a notebook therapy journal. I believe it's from the Secret Garden collection. Here is the cover page that I'm much too scared to start or write my name on, so it's gonna stay like this. And then this is my cover page. It is a little map that I have not finished, so let's not look too closely. And then these are my goals page. So this is goals, a little key with my rating guide, and then every day I read I'm going to color in a square, and then for every book I read I will also color in a square. Then this is my books read spread, so every book I read will be logged here, and I've made a Dutch door and I have enough space for 210 books. And then the next page is my series tracker. I've already got some series filled in here that I want to start or work through, I guess, this year. And then all of these little guys, including the bunny on the last page, page before that, and then I have done these as well, are watercolored by me, and then I just pasted them like little stickers because I thought it was fun and I couldn't find any stickers I liked, so. And then this is my physical TBR spread, so every book I own currently coming into the year is written down, and then as I read them I get to color them in. And then I will, at the end of the year, kind of rate how many of the books I have read. There's no rhyme or reason to the colors that I'm going to color them in, it's just whatever I feel like, so. And then this is to help me not buy books. So this is my book spot. Every time I buy a book, I'll write it down and then color it in when I read it. And then my in and out, so all the books that I bring in and then all the books I bring out, but that's actually just all the books that I read in a month, not like unhauling. And then for the book ban, I'm coloring a square for every week that I do not buy a book. If you couldn't tell, I love to color in a square, so. And then this is my new releases page. I've only filled out through February just because I feel like new releases pop up and I don't realize they're coming out, so I just wanted to leave myself space to do it as we get closer to the months. And then this is my wish list spread, so these are all the books I'd like to buy or read or anything of the sort. And then the KU wish list is for books that I read on Kindle Unlimited that I really loved and I want to buy physical copies of. So that's what that one is for. And then we have these. This is for my book club me and my friends run on Discord. We do a book every month, and then we are starting with doing 2 classics a year, so that's what this little flap is for. And then my reading blanket. Every year now I do a granny square for each book I read and turn it into a blanket, so here is kind of my key for that. And then this is my author backlist page. I have room for another author if I decide to put one in here, but I'm not sure yet. So we have Alexandra Brecken, V.E. Schwab, Cassie Clare, Leigh Bardugo, and Mariana Zapata. And then it's hard to see, but I have colored in all of the circles for books that I've already read from those authors. And then this is my 26 in 2026 spread. It's got a little flap here. So for the books on this page, Alex Bracken is coming out with a new book. I believe it's called Immortal Rose, so I'm excited for that one, but there is no cover yet. And then Agnes Aubert's Mystical Cat Shelter, very excited for. Nightshade and Oak, The Geo-Magician, Thorn Queen, also so excited for. The new Six of Crows novella might be called A Darker Shore, but again, no cover. And then this one is actually for the Once Upon a Broken Heart Collector's Edition, because in the last 30 pages it's going to have the Ballad of the Archer and the Fox, and I really want to read that, so that's what this is for. And then the other new release is down here, and it is No Matter What by Cara Bastone. I just didn't have enough room to fit it here, so I put it with this is my general fiction contemporary, and these are all my fantasy reads that I want to read this year, so Lady Midnight, Kingdom of Fayward, The Cautious Traveler's Guide to the Wastelands, that's a mouthful. Rhapsodic, I don't know how to say this one. Muse of Nightmares, The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love, The Night Circus, The Raven Boys, and Ruthless Vows. And then these are my contemporary classic, not fantasy, essentially. And that is Many Things Under a Rock. This is a nonfiction. Braiding Sweetgrass. This is also a nonfiction. Little Woman, When the World Tips Over, Remarkably Bright Creatures, Digging Dr. Jones, Nothing Like the Movies, Archer's Voice, Culty, and then No Matter What. And then this is my A to Z challenge, so trying to read a book with every letter of the alphabet as the first letter in the title. And then my book bingo, and then I'm just going to write down the title of the books here. And then these are still empty because I'm planning a year-long reading challenge, and it's not going well, but it's supposed to go here if I ever figure that out. And then a statistics page to track books read, my rereads read, because I love a reread, my average star rating, my number of genres I read, how many physical books and how many ebooks, and then this is just going to be a little bar graph for all of the books I read each month. And then this is a genre and rating tracker, so I color in a square for every book for the genre and the rating. And then this page was empty, so I made it a quarterly wrap-up, and I'm just going to put like my favorite book and then like a little summary of the quarter or something. I'm not totally sure yet, actually. And then this is for my favorite books. I think there is room for 18 books. Hopefully I have this many favorite books. We shall see. And then this is my rereads page. As I said, I love a reread, so I'm just going to plop them here and then maybe some journaling or something. I don't know. And then this is my favorite quotes spread, the little Dutch door. That's this one. And then this is the last kind of section. It is my seasonal TBR, so right now I just have one for winter, but I have space set up for all the seasons. And I plan on reading The Prisoner's Throne, Agnes Opera, which I talked about before, Order of Swans, Elasto, a reread of Emily Wilde, because obviously, and Wuthering Heights. And then on the other side is my January setup, which is not finished, so just bear with it, okay? Thank you. So every month I'm going to do a little stamped watercolor of the flower of the month or something. I started this flower, haven't finished it. He's ugly. Just bear with me. And then these are little waterfall Dutch doors, sorry. This one has my TBR, and then it'll have the books bought. I hope I don't buy this many books, but this is my calendar since I like to track the days I'm reading each books. And then this is my statistics page, and then I'm going to put my like favorite books here. And then these are what my review pages look like. So, pretty simple. But something I forgot to tell you at the very beginning of this video is I actually have a second reading journal that I'm using this year. So this one is my like review reading journal spread, if you will. And this one is one that I'm hoping will last me multiple years. So it is also a notebook therapy. I believe it's from like their Tsuki Japan collection. And this one is still definitely a work in progress, but that's okay. So, opening it up, still too afraid to use this page. And this is right now my title page. It just says reading journal, nothing special. And then I'm planning to fill this in with all of the books that I own and making this kind of like a collection of all the books that I own while using this journal. I drew these books way too big, and I kind of think there's only like 300 spaces here, and I already own more than 300 books, so I will be needing to add tip-ins eventually. Oops. And then this one is 100 books to read before you die. I believe I took it off the Goodreads list, so these are all those books, and then when I read them, I'm going to paste the cover and then fill in the star rating. I'm just waiting to paste the covers until I've read them, so I know like what edition, because a lot of them are classics. And I've also already read quite a few of these books, but I don't know if I want to count them or if I want to like reread them. And then here I'm trying to put like statistics for every year of how many of them I read per year, since this is supposed to be a multi-year long journal. And then this next page is a map, and again, like I said, unfinished. I have like not decorated any of these pages at all. But this is the Read Around the World challenge, so I want to read a book for every country. So I printed out this map so I could color in the countries when I read them. I know it doesn't quite have every country, but I did what I could, and I will make do when I actually have to get to that country. And then here is just a space for all the book covers. I have not finished writing down all the country names because there are so many countries, but there is space for all of them. Don't you worry. And then my next spread is going to be for my 6-star reads. I actually set aside quite a few spreads for this, and I want to paste a cover and then journal a little bit about all of them. And because I'm going to be journaling and this is multi-year, that's why I set aside a lot of pages. And then finally, this is my 2026 cover page. So every year that I'm using this journal, I'm going to like use a cover page as a divider. So I'm planning to decorate this a little more, but this is where we're at. And then it is nothing. So what am I going to use this journal for, you may ask, that I'm not using my other journal for? This one is for more fun, like aesthetic-y spreads. Like if I want to make a cute spread for a book, or if I'm doing like a 24-hour readathon and I want to make a spread for that. It's for that kind of thing, because I feel like I felt a lot of pressure in my 2025 reading journal to put those spreads in the right month, even if I didn't feel like doing them in that month. So this is essentially just to give myself more free time, to not feel pressure to put it in the right month or anything. And then I'll have like this huge journal of all these fun, pretty spreads. So that's really what this one is for. It's more creative, you shall say, than this one. But these are my two journals for this year. I do anticipate filling this one up and needing to move on to another one, so I actually have the pale green version of this. It's got the exact same cover. This is just a paler green for the second half of the year for all those reviews. But maybe I won't need it, and then I can use it for 2027. Not sure, but that is the plan right now. So these are my 2026 reading journals, and I am very excited about them, and I hope you are too. So, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys somewhere else on the internet. Bye!